everybody, my name is Selena Arafat and I'm going to be talking about my key takeaways from chapter 4 through 7. So from chapter 4, my first key takeaway was how language influences our perception. So for example, if you're talking like very dryly through text messaging or emailing, it could be taken negative by the receiver of the message. For example, whenever I send messages or like emails, I tend to use like exclamation marks or emojis just to deliver like a more positive message. My second key takeaway from chapter 2 was that language can be very abstract. So like certain words can have like either positive or negative meanings. So the word interesting could be taken like in a positive matter or a negative matter. Language is also like very specific. So if you're mad at someone, you can't just like call them something bad. Like you have to like tell them like what you're specifically mad about so that they know. This resonates with me because whenever I'm like upset about something, I tend to not be very like specific about like what I'm upset about or communicate it very well. From chapter 5, my first key takeaway was that nonverbal communication plays a huge role in our lives. So, for example, if somebody's sad but they don't communicate it, you could tell through their facial expressions, like they could look more down or just like more upset in general. This resonates with me because I feel like my face is very telling. If I'm upset, like I tend to not say anything. You can just like tell through my face, or like if I'm happy, if I'm mad, like you can just tell through my facial expressions. My second key takeaway from chapter 5 was that nonverbal communication is very like culturally based. So there are different nonverbal cues associated with different cultures. This resonates with me because my family's Middle Eastern and we tend to use our hand gestures a lot. So we communicate a lot through like our hands. From chapter 6, my first key takeaway was that not all stereotypes have to be connected to something negative. This can be taught, negative stereotypes can be taught like at a very young age. So like a bunch of stereotypes like about different cultures or different people can be very like generalized, which people can take negatively, but there are like good stereotypes. This resonated with me because I normally tend to like consider stereotypes like in a more negative matter because that's like how people normally use them. I personally don't like use stereotypes in like a negative way. My second key takeaway was that in order to be culturally mindful and intelligent, you need to interact with people from different cultures and like get to know them and their culture. This resonates with me because I personally really love interacting with like different cultures and getting to know different cultures. From chapter 7, my first key takeaway was that there are many reasons humans communicate. The most like specific reasons are for physical needs and social needs. So for your physical needs, your mental health really connects with your physical health, meaning like if you're depressed or anxious, like it affects you physically. And I think communicating and like being social helps you be like in a more positive mindset. This resonates with me because personally my mental health really affects my physical health. My last key takeaway from chapter 7 was that self-disclosing helps build relationships with other people. So it's easier to get to know other people when you like self-disclose information about yourself. This can be positive or negative. I tend to find it more negative because I tend to disclose my information very fast, which can be negative because you don't know like everybody you can trust. Thank you.